Hello and welcome. I am Gimba Umar. Tonight, police in Zamfara state arrest 23 people following an outbreak of violent protests by residents in Shafi local government area over the killings in various communities. Allied People's Movement officially adopts the president as its candidate in the 2019 presidential election. Party leaders submit letter of adoption to the president. We begin our assessment of the year 2018 with a review of activities in politics during the year. And death toll in the Indonesian tsunami rises to over 373, with 128 people still missing.
On business news tonight, Nigeria's Minister of Finance highlights key areas to improve the country's revenue in 2019. He lists ministry's achievements this year.
And on sports news tonight, Jurgen Klopp hints at arrival of new signings to strengthen Liverpool's squad in January if injury woes continue.
Hello, and from Abuja, Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation assures citizens of adequate supply of petroleum products during the Yuletide season.
We begin tonight in Zamfara state, where the police say they have arrested 23 people following a violent protest that broke out in Shafi local government area, resulting in the destruction of properties. The violence is alleged to have followed the protest by some residents over the killing in various communities in the state. It was gathered that some internally displaced persons staged the protest due to the alleged fraud and failure of the state government to protect them. But the protest was eventually hijacked by suspected miscreants. However, the Zamfara State Police Command has denied the claim that IDPs in Shafi local government area were behind the protest, describing the allegations as mischievous and should be ignored. Meanwhile, the police say that more personnel have been deployed to the troubled areas in Zamfara State, where no fewer than 17 persons were killed by gunmen just yesterday. The spokesperson of the state's police command, Mohammed Shehu, says that the Commissioner of Police has ordered the deployment to complement the efforts of other security agencies in the area. Meanwhile, the president has condemned the killings in Brnin, Magaji and Magami communities in Shafi Council and Fura district of Maradung local government area of Zamfara state following attacks by suspected armed bandits. While condoling with the families of the victims, as well as the government and people of Zamfara state, the president says, quote, "These horrendous acts of violence are crimes against humanity. This violence must stop," end of quote. According to the statement from the presidency, President Buhari has directed the Chief of Air Staff, Air Marshal Sadiq Abubakar, to undertake an assessment trip to Zamfara state and Sokoto during the Christmas and Boxing Day. He also reassures the residents of the states plagued by armed bandits, including Zamfara, Sokoto, Kaduna, Niger, and Taraba, of his administration's commitment to their safety, while pledging to ensure that security agencies protect local populations around the clock. The president says that a major operation involving the armed forces, the police, the DSS, and the NSCDC is being considered to restore peace and stability in the region. President Buhari also affirmed his support for the deployment of police special forces in each local government area of Zamfara state, as well as 10,000, that will be 1,000 strong special army intervention force to respond to the security challenges in the North Central and Northwest. Meanwhile, the chairman of APM, Alhaji Yusuf Dantali, said his party believes the president is the leader that would bring the needed change in the country. On his part, Governor Amosun, who insisted that he is in full agreement with the decision of the party, was in Abuja to convey the resolution to the president.
Yes, we have just met the president, but I will allow the national chairman of APM to do the talking. You will recollect that just last week, we made public the fact that APM as a party have adopted Mr. President as their presidential candidate. And so I promised that we will bring the letter, because they gave me a letter from Mr. President. And that is what we came to do today. And you know, Mr. President, always a very gracious human being, a man with a good heart. He now said that, oh, if somebody has adopted me, it's only fair that we must acknowledge that and appreciate the party and the chairman. So that's why we're here. I'm sure that the national chairman of APM is all yours. For me, I've said it that anybody that is for President Buhari is for me. We will embrace such parties, such people, such organization wholeheartedly. And that's what I'm doing. That's what we are doing in Ogun State. So
the party's name itself is Allied People's Movement. You understand? From the name, you know that it is a move, it is a coalition of people of like minds. So this decision was not taken single-handedly. It was taken by the neck of the party to adopt Buhari. Why? Because we need Buhari to restore Nigeria back to its glory and where we need to be. This is not Nigeria. This is not the Nigeria of my dream. But Buhari is giving us the Nigeria that we require.
Chairman, sir, why didn't you do this in the year 2015?
Okay, thank you very much. In the year 2015, let me tell you guys, I was in Labour Party, I was in APC. You can ask from Kogi, where I come from. I was the deputy governorship of Labour Party in Kogi State. I was everything for Buhari then until the governorship election. The people that came to take over Kogi were not people that actually fought for victory of His Excellency. So when the door was closed to us, we have to find a way. But that does not foreclose my support for His Excellency.
Before speaking to newsmen, the Allied People's Movement formally presented that letter to the president, adopting him as its presidential candidate in the 2019 general elections. President Muhammadu Buhari, who personally received the chairman of the APM and the governor of Ogun State at the presidential villa, expressed gratitude for his adoption by the party amidst light-hearted banter by the president and his visitors. President Buhari said that Governor Musu now has his way at last. Now, some political parties are already tying up loose ends and opening their doors to the campaigns from other political parties ahead of the 2019 general elections in Enugu State. Supporters of Governor Ifeanyi Uwai in Ihiaka and Udeze in Ibueze South local government area are throwing their weight behind the state governor as he seeks re-election for a second term. But the story is different in Benue and Sokoto State, where some party loyalists have been pitching their tents elsewhere.
Supporters and loyalists of the People's Democratic Party in Ibueze South local government area gather for a solidarity rally in support of Governor Ifeanyi Uwai. Their mission is to pledge their support to him for his re-election bid. The governor arrives the venue as he is received by the excited crowd as their leaders take turns to reaffirm their convictions.
So we know you are doing very well. Our people are seeing it. Our people are proud of you.
We are happy with Ifeanyi Uwai, and we desire that Ifeanyi should continue as a governor. I came all the way from Lagos to partner with my people. You can see these are my people. That's why we put all the regalia of what we do outside, so that we can show presence and demonstrate our support for His Excellency.
In Kwara State, some politicians from different political parties say they are now pitching their tent with the All Progressives Congress, APC. The campaigns are received at the flag-off of the APC campaign rally in Umuaran, where the party pledged their commitment to improve the lot of the people.
A lot of them have joined us, they have been coming to our ward meetings, but today we have some of their leaders here present. the likes of Honorable Sheya Digun is a big wig in the local government. We have County Bank College from Ukeron local government, it's a big wig. You know, these are the people that are holding forth in the 4 local governments. They are coming to the fold of APC.
The wave of defection amongst politicians also found its way to the camp of the People's Democratic Party in Benue State, where a former women's leader for the APC Governorship Campaign Council announced her defection to the PDP alongside other decampees.
I was the only female candidate standing in the All Progressive Congress. Suddenly, the election was zoned to my community, the APC community in Makudi. Then the ticket was taken away and given to the Ugondo community, whom don't have the zoning this time around.
In Sokoto State, the governorship candidate for the Social Democratic Party, Mr. Sadiq Abubakar, has vowed to deploy enough resources to combat any form of vote buying during the 2019 governorship elections in the state.
I believe 100% ANEC will do justice, and I have confidence ANEC will conduct free and fair election at all levels. I believe that 100%, and I believe in our security agency, they will do well. I am very, very confident on ANEC.
With all the politicking and change of gear by politicians and their supporters, the reality of all the actions will come to play at the end of the election next year, where Nigerians are expected to hold them to account on their promises.
President being adopted, the Allied People's Movement has formally presented a letter to the President adopting him as its presidential candidate in the 2019 general elections. President Muhammadu Buhari who personally, of course, received the chairman of APM and the governor of Ogun State at the presidential villa, expressed gratitude for his adoption by the party. Amidst light-hearted banter by the president and his visitors, President Buhari said that Governor Musu has finally had his way. A group operating under the aegis of the Independent Services Watch has staged a protest at the Abuja office of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, the EFCC, calling for an investigation of the Managing Director of the Niger Delta Development Commission, the NDDC. The protesters are accusing the NDDC of awarding contracts to unregistered companies, as well as not allowing contracts to pass through due process before they are awarded.
The Independent Public Service Watch, as a group that frown at corruption and looting of public funds, under any guise, has identified with patriotic discontent the monumental act of fraud and financial abuse be perpetrated at the Niger Delta Development Commission, NDDC, awarding contract to unregistered companies in Nigeria is against the Nigerian law. We, the good people of Niger Delta, we are calling on the EFCC. They should please, with immediate effect, come to our aid.
More on the NDDC controversy. In the meantime, in part 2, after the break, Buhari felicitates with Christians at Christmas, promises better times and a great future for Nigerians. Stay with us.